if you're a Colts fan, Jaguars fan, or Titans fan, I just want to let you guys know that I graded the Texans free agency a C plus. And if you're a Texans fan, you already know this. Anyways, the other AFC South teams. The Texans weren't the only teams that made moves. In the division, we had the Jaguars and Titans make some significant moves, and then we had the Colts over there. I don't know what the hell they did. But anyways, let's start off with the Jaguars. The Jaguars, I didn't think they were going to do much in free agency because they had no cap space. They somehow managed to steal Andrew Norwell from, I believe it was the Giants and the Cardinals that were bidding for him. Like, the Jaguars just came out of nowhere and snatched Andrew Norwell from them. And I think that was an excellent signing because Andrew Norwell, I mean, an all-pro left guard. How often does an all-pro offensive lineman hit the free agency market? They're giving him, I believe, an average of $13.5 million a year, if I remember correctly, which isn't bad, especially in the offensive line-starved league. I thought it was a really good signing. And they also got Austin Seferian-Jenkins, which was another guy I kind of wanted. But Seferian-Jenkins hasn't really done much in the league, but when you talk about Seferian-Jenkins, it's not what he has done, it's what he could do if he finally gets it all together and puts it all together on the field. Because, I mean, the guy is extremely athletic, he's physically talented, he can block well, he can catch well. He's just a guy that can turn into a good tight end in the NFL. So, if he does end up turning into a good tight end, then the Jaguars got an absolute steal. And a couple other notable guys that they got was Dante Moncrief. Dante Moncrief was a pretty bad signing in my opinion, giving him almost $10 million a year for a mediocre at best wide receiver. But I mean, it's only for 1 year, so there's that. But it doesn't change the fact that they're paying $10 million to a mediocre wide receiver. And DJ Hayden, who was kind of brought in to replace Aaron Colvin. And DJ Hayden to me is just another guy. He's a Jag. You can easily replace him with someone else. He's not that good. And they also lost some people, including Paul Pislesny to retirement. They lost Allen Robinson to Chicago, Aaron Colvin to Houston, and they cut Mercedes Lewis and Allen Hurns. And they did, however, re-sign Marquise Lee, which was low-key a pretty good re-signing, because I do like what he brings to the table. Overall, though, I'd give the Jaguars a C plus in their free agency grade. Yes, I did like the Austin Seferian-Jenkins signing. I did like the Andrew Norwell signing, and I liked the Marquise Lee re-signing. But they also lost Aaron Colvin, they lost Allen Hurns, and Allen Robinson. Not only that, they kind of dug themselves in a hole for next season. They're kind of going all in with Blake Bortles, which is not a good idea in my opinion. Because after next season, or after this season, they have to make some tough decisions on who they can keep and who they can't. Anyways, moving on to the next team, the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts let Rashawn Melvin walk for some reason. He was their best corner, their only good corner, and they let him walk. They brought back Jack Muir, who I think is a pretty damn good guard, but health is an issue with him. But they did bring him back for really cheap, so I do like the risk they took there. And they also brought in Matt Slauson, who is, he's just kind of there at this point in his career. He's not all that good. They also brought in some other players that are pretty much just there. They're not important pieces. So overall, I'd have to give the Colts an F in free agency. They didn't really do much. Yes, they brought in Matt Slauson, but that's about it. They let Rashawn Melvin walk, which was pretty dumb. I mean, Rashawn Melvin, yeah, he only had one good season, but he was your best corner, and now you have no one there. Yeah, the Colts are kind of going on a downward spiral. Anyways, on to the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, I don't think they really... Actually, no. They did lose Avery Williamson, but I'm not sure if I'd really count that as a loss because he was really not all that good. And I heard a rumor that apparently the Titans offered him like a 4-year deal for $12 million, which is like $3 million a year, which is kind of a slap in the face for him, or to Avery Williamson. But I think that's like the only notable player that they lost. Well, if you count DeMarco Murray, who got released, but DeMarco Murray wasn't his former self anymore, so it's not like it really affects them much. They did gain Dion Lewis, which is a really good running back to add in with Derrick Henry. You have Derrick Henry running hard, and you have Dion Lewis being that pass-catching back that Tennessee has lacked for the last few years. And they also brought in Malcolm Butler for $12 million a year, which is probably a little bit too much. I've honestly always thought Malcolm Butler was overrated, but overrated to me doesn't mean he's a bad player. It just means he's not as good as his name suggests. Because to me, Malcolm Butler is just average to above average. Not sure I'd pay a corner of his skill level that much, but you know, the Titans did need a corner to kind of have with Adoree Jackson and Logan Ryan, who I'm not really convinced are good players, honestly, if I'm being honest. But that's neither here nor there. You know, it was a good signing because today in the NFL you need 3 starting caliber corners, and you know, if they believe Malcolm Butler is that guy, if they believe Logan Ryan's that other guy, and Adoree Jackson's that other guy, then fine, you know. They addressed a need, and in free agency, that's all you can really do. You address needs because you can't really fix something because you don't know how it's going to work out. And that goes to every team out there, you know. For all we know, Malcolm Butler could be an all-pro corner. You know, he can be a complete bust. They did bring back Josh Klein for pretty cheap, cheaper than his market value. So that was a pretty good re-signing. So overall, I'd probably have to give the Titans a B+ in their free agency. I think they did a pretty good job. They didn't go all out like Jacksonville and kind of spent their money stupidly, but I feel like they could have done more. However, there is rumors about Ndamukong Suh possibly going to Tennessee. So, if Ndamukong Suh ends up going to Tennessee, I'd give the Titans an A for their free agency. So as of right now, I'd probably give the Titans the edge in free agency. I think they've won free agency. They kind of kept their team intact while also adding some pretty good players to their team, players that they needed. Especially Dion Lewis. I feel like Dion Lewis was kind of like one of those signings that was overlooked, but I feel like that was a pretty damn good signing for Tennessee. And yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and especially comment down below if I missed any other notable player signing or departure, because I really tried to only go for the bigger name players. I know there was like some smaller special teamers signed for each team or backups. To me, that didn't really matter much. To me, it was just more about those bigger name players, the guys that will make a noticeable contribution to the team. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you stuck around this long, again, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.